very dramatic 2 hours in court, very passionate, the most passionate that I've seen the defense, and I was here for the verdict. You know, what they're trying to do, Zane, is pick apart two things. Most importantly, the evidence and what they regard as very flabby evidence, DNA that was flawed, and errors on the part of police. But beyond that, they are trying to get to motive, and they are suggesting that Amanda Knox and Rafaela Solecido had absolutely no motive to kill Meredith Kercher. We've also just learned, Zane, that those two defendants will get their say in this appeal process on Monday. They will have about 15 minutes each to speak to their innocence to that jury. You know, Amanda Knox herself looked quite composed today. She was quite calm. At the same time, though, Zane, I haven't seen her since the verdict. It's been a couple of years. She looks much more frail. I spoke to her father as he went in for a break to go talk to Amanda, and he seemed quite emotional as well. He agreed that, in fact, the defense was more passionate than they had been before, and he says that's because they've gotten to know Amanda over the last 4 years, almost 4 years, and they can see the strength of her character and the fact that she's innocent. Zane?
What kind of anticipation is there in the days ahead of the verdict?
Well, now that we know that they're going to have these statements, and again, can you imagine trying to boil it down to 15 minutes for someone, a defendant, to tell the jury, look, I am innocent. Amanda has always said again and again, why won't they believe me? And I heard her say that in her appeal to the court 2 years ago. She will probably repeat that again. The anticipation here, though, is that this jury has two very conflicting versions of what happened that night. It is striking, Zane, that in anticipation of this ruling, that a lot of the material evidence that is at issue, none of that's changed. It's not as if there has been new evidence that's come to light, just more disputes, more arguments about the validity of that evidence. And to remind everyone, Zane, again, hanging in the balance is this poor family, the family of Meredith Kercher, that's been suffering through all these legal processes and not really understanding or being able to decipher which side is wrong and which side is right. Going into court, we'll be back in court in a few minutes now, Zane, and we will hear more from the defense of Rafaela Solecido and Amanda Knox.